John had always been fascinated by the idea of parallel realities. He had read countless books and articles about the topic, and even attended lectures by physicists and philosophers who discussed the concept. But he never thought he would experience it firsthand. One day, John collapsed in the middle of the street. His heart had stopped, and he was clinically dead for several minutes before the paramedics were able to revive him. During that time, John saw something that he would never forget. He had entered a parallel reality. In that reality, everything was the same, yet different. He saw familiar faces, but they behaved differently. The world around him seemed slightly distorted, like a funhouse mirror. He felt like he was in a dream, but he knew it was real. But when his heart began to beat again, the worlds mixed up. John found himself back in his own reality, but he couldn't shake off the feeling that something was wrong. He started noticing small differences, things that were out of place, or people who were acting strangely. At first, John thought he was just imagining things. But as the days went by, the differences became more pronounced. He realized that the two realities had mixed up, and he was stuck in a world that wasn't quite his own. The people around him started acting even stranger, as if they were possessed. They would say things that didn't make sense or act in ways that were completely out of character. John tried to talk to them, to make sense of what was happening, but they didn't seem to hear him. John started to feel like he was losing his mind. He couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't anymore. The lines between the two realities were blurred, and he couldn't escape. One day, John saw himself walking down the street, or rather, he saw his doppelganger. The other John looked just like him, but he was wearing different clothes and seemed to be in a hurry. John tried to follow him, but he disappeared around a corner. That was when John realized that he had to find a way to separate the two realities. He started researching the topic even more, hoping to find a way to break the barrier between the two worlds. Eventually, John discovered that the only way to separate the realities was to sacrifice something. He didn't know what it was, but he knew he had to find it. One night, John had a dream where he was visited by a mysterious figure. The figure told him what he had to sacrifice, and where he could find it. It was something that John held dear, something that he had never thought he would be able to give up. But he knew it was the only way to break the curse. And so John made the sacrifice. The two realities separated, and John was able to return to his own world. But he never forgot the experience. He knew that parallel realities were real and that they could be dangerous. He vowed to never explore the topic again, knowing that the consequences could be deadly.